expressions we hear on a daily basis, but they are erroneous. The second sentence, we have Chidema message Dodinaka. What do we say about that? Correct or incorrect? Huh? So what is the correct thing? If it is incorrect, yes? Huh? Should it be Chidema message or Chidema sent a message? Which of them? Sent a message, right? On the contrary, this sentence is correct. Are you following now? Now listen, sometime, I use the sentence, someone phoned, and student told me, Uncle, is it actually correct to say phoned? Because we generally know phone as a noun, the word phone as a noun, right? But the thing is that English words are polysemous. They are what? That is to say, a particular word can manifest for another meaning. That is, a noun can somehow be used as a verb and vice versa. Do you understand it now? Depending on the context you've used it. So, message can be used both as a noun and as what? And as what? So, you're correct when you say, the man messaged me yesterday. In other words, the message can be replaced synonymously with what? Texted. With what? So messaged in this context means what? Texted. Do you get it now? You can also use it the other way around. The man sent me a message. In that case now, you've used message as what? A noun. Are you with me now? You've used message as a noun. So you can be used in these two senses. You can either say messaged or sent me a message. The two of them are acceptable. And then finally, we have the last sentence. The little boy is not. In the other class before we came up here, I pronounced this a particular way. Can I hear you pronounce this word, all of you? Huh? I am sorry. Supposing in your JAMB, look at it. Let me ask you a question now. In JAMB gives you this sentence. Okay? And then we have this. Now the question is, pick an option that contains the sound in the underline there later. And we have this. A. We have B. C, we have and then D, we have pick your answer. Supposing you should get this type of question in your JAM, what would be your answer? Okay, what do we have here? What do we have here? What do we have here? And what do we have here? So which one is your answer? Unfortunately, A is wrong. B is wrong. D is wrong. Are you with me? Now listen to me. Shh. Listen to me. It is pronounced opportunity. Listen, I said it is pronounced opportunity. Now look at the transcription. Look at the transcription. Did you see what I write now? Can you see what I wrote on the board? Whether it is opportunity, opportune, whichever way. The point is that the T is not pronounced this. What is this, class? And that's what we have here. It is not pronounced that. If you go home, pick up your dictionary, and then look it up. Do you understand what I said now? So it is pronounced opportunity. Opportunity. So there is a T. Just in case JAM happens to give you a question like this, you take note. Is you understood now? Now back to the sentence. The sentence says, the little boy is not opportune to go to school. And my question is, how acceptable is this sentence? Is it correct to say, somebody is not opportune to go to school. Is it correct? Ah. Are you sure? Now listen to me. Shh. From today on, desists from using such expression. It is wrong. Are you with me? Did you hear what I said now? Listen, I said to use opportune to mean, should I say privilege? Should I say, what other word do I use for it now? It is wrong. You get me now? Now let me show you how to use opportune. Now, when you use opportune, look at how it is used. Can you see what I wrote on the board? Now listen. Shh. Are you listening now? When you use opportune, opportune is another adjective that is wrongly used. We always use it wrongly because we assume that it is a verb, but it is not really. When we use opportune, it dramatically disallows the D. You tell us, I can't meet you now because it is not an opportune moment. You see, it's an adjective. An adjective modifying the noun moment. Look at it. Adjective, and it's modifying this. This is a noun. Are you with me now? Now, what we use opportune as is, you tell somebody, I am not opportune. That means you are not free. That is, you're not privileged. But it doesn't mean that. It is different from opportunity. Opportune and opportunity are two different words. Are you with me now? So if you say opportunity, it's a different thing from opportune. So there are two different things. So if you tell somebody opportune, it means it's a free time, a leisure time. It's your spare time, a convenient time. These are synonyms you can give to opportune. Are you with me now? But when you talk about opportunity, it becomes a different thing. And it is wrong to add D to opportune. You say opportuned. So what you do now is, after this class, if you go home, get your dictionary, look up opportune there. Just look it up. You look at the part of speech, and then you consider what we are saying. So that in the next class, you know whether we are speaking the correct thing or the incorrect thing. Now, we're going to take questions on verbs. With what I've said now, we're going to take questions on verbs. Now, let's write. I'm going to give you structure questions on verbs. Number one. The topic I'm going to drill you on now is verbs. Structure questions on verbs. Number one. Number one says, Daniel's fever was so acute. Daniel's fever was so acute. Daniel's fever was so acute. Was so acute that he dashed an injection. Daniel's fever was so acute that he dashed an injection. That is the first question. Daniel's fever was so acute that he dashed an injection. If you want, if you like, write dash. Yeah? Write it. Number two, I will give you the options on the board. I'll give you the options on the board. Number two says, Miss Regal. Mrs. Regal. Regal. Mrs. Regal had dashed her breakfast before her friend came in. I said Mrs. Regal had dashed her breakfast before her friend came in. You got a question now? I said Mrs. Regal had dashed her breakfast before her friend came in. Now look at the options now. Option A. Okay. Take your answers. The first question. When we are through with the first question, we go to the second. So what's your answer? It says, Daniel's fever was so acute that he dashed an injection. Do we say he had to have, had to had, must have, and ought to have? Huh? Had to have. Oh yeah, listen. No noise. Look at it. When you have an expression like this, ought to, modal auxiliary verb tells us that ought to can be given the synonym. Am I correct? When you go to a modal auxiliary verb, ought to means it's necessary, something that you should be, is important, it is vital. And the sentence says, Daniel's fever was so acute that he dashed an injection. It says, do we say ought to have an injection? You find out that it is not, in the sentence, it doesn't express necessity. It does not express necessity. Rather, it expresses compulsion, something that must be done. That means we'll strike out the last option, option D. And now the other one says must have, must have. Now, in the case of this one now, must have, we cannot pick must have because what happens? What happens? Look at the sentence. It says Daniel was so acute that he must have an injection. What if he decides not to have, even though he has an acute malaria? Are you with me now? So we can't take that option. What we should be considering now is A and B. We should be considering the two sentences. Now look at it. That sentence is in what tense, please? What tense is the sentence? It's in the past. Are you with me now? And look at this. What is the tense of had? What is also the tense of had here? Past. Now, can we say Daniel's fever was so acute that he had to have an injection? Can we say that? So look at it now. The reason we cannot pick this is the fact that there's something we call infinitive. In English, there is something we call infinitive. We have what we call full infinitive and then bare infinitive. Now, the rule in English is once there is an infinitive in the verb, when you have to added to a verb, it's expected that the next verb that comes after it should be in the present. It should be in the present. Look at it. Someone tells you the boy wanted to dash home yesterday. Did I say the boy wanted to run home yesterday? To run home yesterday? To run in home yesterday? Which one do I say? Look at it. Wanted to. wanted to. So we are saying that verb is in the infinitive form. If it doesn't have the to, it becomes bare infinitive. We have two forms of infinitive, the full and the bare. So the bare infinitive now is the one that has no to. Someone tells you, he dare not talk to me. I wouldn't tell you, he dare not to talk to me. Do I say anything like that? So dare is in the bare now. There is no to added to it. So the reason we cannot pick this option is that what happens? We have an infinitive here. Do you understand it now? So as a rule in English, with the presence of this infinitive, it grammatically disqualifies your option, your choice of choosing another past form of the verb. So it becomes wrong. That's the reason we cannot pick had. Are you with me now? Now in the first option we have had to, and then this is a present form of the verb. So for that reason we choose this. We choose option A. So we say Daniel's fever was so acute that he had to have. That is, he had to take. So another synonym we can give to have is what? Is what? We take. He had to take an injection. That's the answer. Then number 2, somebody said introduction. What is the need for introduction? You are new here. Me, I'm old. I don't need introduction. You are new. Me, I'm old here. So many of you don't know me, say. Later you know me. Yeah? You know me. Okay, number 2 question says, A. Okay, pick your answer, please, fast. Remember, the question says Mrs. Regal had to dash her breakfast before her friends came in. So do we say Mrs. Regal had to has her breakfast, had to have her breakfast, had to have it says Miss Regal had. Yes, now had dash. So I say Miss Regal has her breakfast, have her breakfast, had her breakfast, and then had been. So we'll strike this one out immediately. We'll strike it out. Now we are considering options C, B, and then A. So we have Mrs. Regal had to dash her breakfast. Do we say had to has? Excuse me, sorry. Had has a breakfast. What do I have? What do I give you now? Shh, no noise. Because we have a singular form of the verb already, has, automatically it disqualifies the first option, A. So we are considering options B and D. So what do we say now? Okay, let's put it like this. Let there be some decorum in this hall. Shh. Let there be some decorum. I don't know why she is snickering. Why are you snickering over there? What's your answer? You have stopped snickering. Okay. So what do we pick now? Do we say has had or has have? So I should say Miss Regal has. Miss Regal had. Was it has I said or had? Huh? I never said had. I said had. Okay, I said has. Correct it. I said had. I never said has. Shh. No noise. Shh. It is because many of you are here, but you are just bodily present. But your conscience is elsewhere. And it's quite unfortunate. If you are in a class, you have deliberately left your houses to come and learn. And then a teacher is on the podium talking to you. You are busy doing a different thing. You see, it's a foolhardiness. Foolhardiness. He's talking and you're there laughing. I don't know why you're laughing. Thank God JAM has opened its registration dates. They said 14th of next month, you begin your registration, and it's just 1 month. February, you end your registration. And you're here meandering, you're here snickering, you're here giggling. I don't know for you. So it's a matter of you realizing that you don't have the time again. So I'm not on problem on. So listen now. Shh. What I said was had, not said Miss Regal had dashed her breakfast. So do we say had her breakfast, had have her breakfast? This sentence is what we call a perfective aspect. Listen, there are two actions in the sentence. Are you following now? What is the first action? Taking her breakfast. The second action is arrival of her friends. So in English now, the rule says when we have two clauses in a sentence, it's expected that we use the perfective, past perfective aspect of the verb to express it. Look at it. My friend has gone home before the father arrived. My friend had gone home before the father arrived. Which of them is correct? You see, there are two actions in that sentence. One, my friend going home. Two, my father arrived. I don't know where you get it now. So in such situation, we know that ordinarily what we hear people say is has. All right? Has. Maybe your friend, the father of your friend just arrived, and then he's asking for the son or the daughter. And you just said, well, where is my son? He has gone home. Oh. He has gone. That's always our response. But is that correct? It is wrong. What we should say is he had gone home. Because expectedly, there are two actions there. So the rule says there should be a perfective aspect of the verb. Perfective aspect. So with that explanation, now what happens now? We cannot pick this. We'll say Miss Regal had her breakfast. That is to say, she had eaten. That is the translation of the second had. You understand it now? The second had means eaten. She had taken. That's another word we can give for the second had. That is, she had done it before some other thing happened. So we'll pick the second option. We'll pick option C and not this, not the first. Do you understand what I said now? Now take another question. Fast. Right. Right. Now number 3 says, many people are used to dash without lunch. Many people are used to dash without lunch. Many people are used to dash without lunch. Then number 2, the next question, that should be number 4. Number 4 says, I am not accustomed dash on an empty stomach. Number 4 says, I am not accustomed dash on an empty stomach. I repeat, the first one I said, many people are used to dash without lunch. Then the second I said, I am not accustomed dash on an empty stomach. Now with the options on the board. Choose your answer. What's your answer? Fast. Bobo, what's your answer? Ma, what's your answer? Huh? You are coming. Your English is painful. You hear me? Okay, what's the correct answer, please? Huh? Remember we have no noise. The question says many people are used to. That's the question. And I want to point out something. But before I point out, let's answer this before we take the correct. We take note of that point. Do we pick A, B, C, or D? Of course, ordinarily we should know that option C is off, right? It says many people are used to have gone without lunch. That's off. To gone without lunch. So we are considering options A and B. Do we pick option B? We strike this out. I cannot tell you many people are used to have to be going. We pick option A. Now look at it. Let me tell you the reason. So that next time if you see an expression like this, you know what to pick. Now look at it. It says many people are used to. Used to can be used in two senses. As a verb and as an adjective. Are you following now? Now, if you are used to something as a verb, if you use used to as a verb, my problem is that after this correction, we still go back to our usual erroneous expressions. And how we improve is by being attuned to new expressions. When you're given what it should be, you accept it. That's the language. It is true you are a science student. But as a science student, you communicate your science languages in the English language. Am I correct? Am I correct? You don't communicate in the science, but you communicate in the English language. So it becomes pertinent that you polish the language. So look at it. You see the sentence I made now? Someone will say, I used to go to school early. Now, the meaning behind this is that that person goes to school early. Always, isn't it? Isn't it? That is the meaning behind this. That is the intention of the speaker of this sentence. But it is wrong. Are you following now? Your teacher accosted you. Perhaps you are late to school. And your teacher accosted you and asked, why are you late to school today? In reaction, in defense, you said, sir, I used to come to school earlier. It's just that there was a traffic on the road. Do you think you're correct? That's why it is wrong. Are you following now? Now look at what you have to learn. Used to as a verb. Remember, I'm explaining used to as a verb. Means you see what I wrote on the board? I said discontinued habitual action. That is an action that used to be frequently done in the past, but in the present it has done what? It has stopped. That is what used to as a verb means. Modal auxiliary verb. Anytime you say used to, you're trying to express past discontinued habitual action. What it means is that you no longer do that thing again. And so you don't use it to express a present action. You don't tell somebody, I used to be a good boy. That is to say, you're trying to tell somebody that you are always good, you are a good boy. It is wrong. Are you following now? What should we say? What should we say? You say, did you say this now? Did you see what I have written on the board now? Now, for you to express present habitual action, that is an action that is habitually done in the present, we use these, adverbs of frequency adverbs. We use them to express a present habitual action. But a past discontinued action, in the past, but you don't do it again. What do we use? We use used to. Do you understand it now? Now, is there any condition you can use like this, used to without the D? Is there any condition you can use used to? Can you say, I used to talk too much when I was small? Can you make a sentence like that? The thing is that for you to express a past habitual action, you cannot use the expression like this, used to like this. You can't, it is wrong. You can only use used to like this to ask a question. You get what I said now? Did Oge used to, you get it now? Did Oge used to be a good girl? I wouldn't say did Oge used to. You get it now? So when you ask a question now, the D in the use goes off. Do you understand it? But if you make a declarative sentence, then there should be D. There should frequently be a D. So you tell somebody, I used to. That is to say, you don't do that thing again. That is the point. Do you understand it now? That is as a modal auxiliary verb. Yes? All right. Do you understand what I explained now? Now, the second part of the word, I will react to it. The second part is as an adjective. Do you get it? Used to as an adjective. When you use used to as an adjective, it is used in the sense you just asked the question now. And that is what we have here in this question. It says, many people are used to dash without lunch. So in that context now, we are using used to as an adjective. And the rule says there should be an infinitive. When you use any word after this, there should be an ing added to it. Are you with me now? And in that sense, now it doesn't mean habitual action again. It means something that has become part and parcel of you. You tell somebody, I am used to lies. You get it now? That is to say, you are a liar. That is, you cannot be changed again. You are immutable. Do you understand what I said now? So, the used to can be used in two senses. As a verb, modal auxiliary verb, and as an adjective. And as it is now, in the question I asked you, it has been used as an adjective. And each time it is used as an adjective, the conventional grammatical expectation is that there should be an ing added to it. So he says, people are used to going without lunch. So you add an ing. Because the ing indicates an infinitive. Excuse me, a gerund. Indicates a gerund added to it. Gerund added to it. Do you understand what I explained now? I am talking, do you understand me? We take another question. The other question says, that's what I'm trying to react to. The second question says, I am not accustomed dash on an empty stomach. Now look at the options. Okay, the second question, react to it. There should be no noise. When you make noise, it seems as if there are people from the village. There are people from the village attacking you, and they are making you tumultuous. Let there be no noise. What's your answer? It says, I am not accustomed dash on an empty stomach. What do we pick now? Now look at it. Accustomed to, used to, accustomed to and used to. These two verbs expresses the same thing. And as a rule, most times we use this anytime they are used as adjectives. The rule is that we pick a gerundial verb. A gerundial, that is a word that has an ing added to it. So we have to sleep, we can't pick this. To have slept, we can't pick this. For sleeping, and I will say, look at it. I am not accustomed to sleeping on an empty stomach. Now look at it. We have an ing added here. We have an ing. So accustomed, sorry, there is no to in the question. But the thing is that anytime a question, it has to added to it. What it means is that any verb you're picking must be in the gerund. That is, it must have an ing. Do you understand it now? If the question comes without the preposition to, then it means you pick an option that has to and the verb in ing. That is the point. So from the question I have here, there is no to in the question. It's just the option that has to sleep in. Are you following now? So I like to take note of these expressions so that when next you come across them, you know how to make use of them. Now take another question. Let's write. Let's write. Right. I'm a no. I said I'm a no. Write your name. If you cannot spell that, write any name. I'm a no. I don't know how to pronounce it the word again. Write Chidimma enjoys dash soccer. Chidimma enjoys dash soccer. Chidimma enjoys dash soccer. You get that now? I said Chidimma enjoys dash soccer. Soccer. What is soccer? Your mind are already going wide, right? You're already going wide. Another question, please. Take another question. No noise. Shh. Let me give an option now. Look at the options to that question. Take your answer. No noise. Baby, hey, the girl in Rosary, what's your answer? What's the answer? It says Chidimma enjoys dash soccer. Do we say Chidimma enjoys to play soccer? Enjoys play soccer? Playing and to be playing. So if you follow the questions I've given you, find out that the two last questions I gave you and this tell towards one direction. That is, they demand, what do you call it? The gerund. You pick a verb in the gerund. That is a verb that has an ing added to it. So we cannot say Chidimma enjoys to playing, or rather to be playing. We pick this option now. enjoys playing. Now, shh, no noise. When I say gerund, I mean a verb noun. A verb, a word that is a verb, but that has been used as a noun. That's what I mean by gerund. A word that is structurally a verb, but it has been used as a noun. That is, it has the force of a verb and a noun. So it is structurally a verb, but it functions as a noun. That's what I mean by gerund. So it is always denoted by adding an ing. We add ing to gerund. So in the sentence now, say enjoys playing soccer. Now it functions as an object in the sentence. It is different from Chidema is playing soccer. They are two different things. Playing soccer, he expresses progression. But if you say Chidema enjoys playing soccer, they are two different things. So that's the point. Take another question. The next question says, right, please. Chidema dash to school nowadays. I said Chidema dash to school nowadays, right? Another question. Chidema dash to school nowadays. Chidema dash to school nowadays. How do you spell nowadays? All of you want to go? Is it an open compound word or a closed compound word? Good. Because some people write it as an open compound. It is a closed compound word. So it is one word. That's what I mean by close. Take another question. Next question says, you had better dash examination. You had better dash examination. You had better dash examination. I said you had. You had better dash examination. You get a question now? Had, H-A-D. You get it? You had better dash examination. Examination. Have you heard it now? All right, let's react now. Let's take the answer, the options. The first one says, okay, take your answer, please. Remember we said Chidema dash to school nowadays. Do we say walk to school? Walk to school is walking, walks. Huh? What is your choice of walks? Why did you pick walks? Did you see it now? Did you see your choice of answer now? Because of this word nowadays. If I remove nowadays in the sentence, what will be the answer? We now pick what? Walks. Are you following now? So we have Chidema walks to school nowadays. Now, this verb now, what does he express? He expresses a habitual present action. A habitual action in the present. If someone tells you walks to school. Listen, someone says, the little child walks to school. Even without adding every day, the word walks has already expressed habituality. Are you following now? One of the functions of a simple present tense is to express a habitual action in the present. Are you following now? That's why someone tells you, I go to school. I go to school. Chidema goes to school. Even without adding every day, that goes as expressed the habitual activity in the present. Do you understand it now? And look at it. Look at it. If the sentence is structured like this, Pick your answer. What do we have as the correct answer now? It says, Chidima dashed to school lately. What do we pick now? Do we say Chidima have gone to school lately, had gone to school lately, has gone to school lately, and has been gone to school lately? What do we pick? Huh? Had gone. Huh? All right, look at it now. If you pick had gone, you are wrong. Are you following now? If you pick have gone, you are wrong. Of course, you know this one is entirely wrong. Are you following now? Now, this is why we are going to pick this as the answer. Let me tell you the reason. Let me tell you the reason. The reason is that there is something we call perfective aspect. What did I say? What does aspect mean? Who knows what an aspect in verb means? Yes? Can someone tell me? What does aspect in verb means? Yes? A-S-P-E-C-T. Aspect. Who knows what it means? Yes? Baba, over there. Yes? What does aspect mean? Yes? What does aspect mean? Yes? Now, what part of speech in English expresses aspect? Huh? You know, the confusion is that aspect and verb, and tense are always confused. It is a verb that expresses aspect just like tense. So when we talk about aspect in English, we are talking about progression of an action or completion of an action. That is, did an action start and progressed for a limited time, or did the action start and it is completed? Listen to my sentence. Obi has gone home. Obi is going home. Now, which of the two expresses progression? That is to say, after a limited time, that action of going does what? It ends. You understand it now? That shows you a progression, and we call that sentence present progressive or continuous tense, okay? But it is wrong. We don't say present continuous because we don't have present continuous. What we have is present progressive or continuous aspects and not tense. But the other one, Obi has gone home. It shows a completed action. That is to say, the action of going home happened and it what? Ended. But there is still an effect of the going home. There is still an effect. Because Obi has gone home, you can no longer see Obi at the point of speaking. I don't know what you're following now. Look at it. Father, I have swept the house. Father, I have swept the house. Are you still sweeping the house at that point? But why did you say I have swept the house in the present? Because in the present, the effect of what you did a while ago or in the past is still felt. I have swept the house, and that is why the house is what? Neat. Do you understand it now? Father, I have swept the house, and so it is what? You can see it is what? Neat. Do you get it now? So because you swept the house in the past, the effect is still felt because there is what? There is neatness in the house. That's what that sentence is in the perfective. So we use this have to express perfective, but we use be to express progressive. You say, Obi is running home. We have used be. What are the forms of be? And the rest of, they are 8 in number. Do you get it now? They are 8 in number. So Obi is running home. Obi has gone home. So the rule is, because this shows the absence of Chidima, Chidima has gone to school lately. At the point of speaking, is Chidima still there? Is Chidima still there at the point of speaking? It's not there. Because Chidima did something in the past, and the effect is still felt in the present. And that is why you can't say Chidima. You can now say Chidima has gone to school lately. I don't know where you get it now. And get to understand that has is singular. Why have is what? Have is what? Have is plural. And then Chidima is singular. And so you should go with this. Has. Do you understand what I explained now? Somebody said, what of had? had can be used with both singular and plural because it is a past form of the verb. In the past tense, do we consider number? In the past tense, we don't consider number. So I can say, one boy went home yesterday. 20 boys went home yesterday. You see, I've used one, went. One boy, singular, went home yesterday. 20 boys, plural, went home. You see, so we don't judge number in the past tense. You only judge number when? Present tense. Do you understand it now? So we can use had in both senses. All right? Take another question, please. Another question. The what? Okay. You had better dash. Okay, we have. Look at it. That's the question. Can we take the answer, please, and keep quiet over there? So what's the answer? The question says, you had better dash examination. You had better dash examination. What's the answer now? Okay, written, right? What's the answer? All right. You had better dash examination. Shh. No noise. No noise. Shh. Look at this. What is this, class? What does subjunctive verb mean? Baby, tell us. The way you're reclining doesn't show seriousness. Tell us what a subjunctive verb is. Yes, you. We are listening. I'm talking to you and you're looking elsewhere. Yes, you. What does a subjunctive verb mean? The problem with some of you is that you fail to differentiate between serious moment and what? Leisure. Leisure and serious moment are two different things. And if you fail to distinguish these two things, there's a problem. That lady over there has been snickering. I feel the villagers are actually doing something. The villagers are working. And I want you to shame them. You understand me? Shame them. Stand up. Talk to you. You stand up. Yes, you. Snickering. That's why you should listen. That's why you should listen. Yes. The girl is busy giggling. Let's hear you. What does a subjunctive verb mean? Yes. She is still snickering. Your sneaker cannot defeat me. Yes. The villagers are at work. Let's hear you. Tell us what a subjunctive verb is. Yes. Somebody wants to know what sneaker means. What does sneaker mean? Hold on. Does sneaker mean shoes? Shh. No noise. You remember I told you that English words are polysemous. I think I used that a while ago, right? So, sneaker can mean a shoe. Sneaker can also mean laughing stupidly at someone's, maybe someone's gaff. When somebody gaff, you know what I mean by gaff? You're busy laughing. More English. I will speak more. That is me. You're an English class. In the English class. So, you don't expect me to keep using is, was, go, and no. Sometimes we chip it in. Are you there? So that the villagers will keep remote controlling. Are you there? They will keep remote controlling. And then you're there, falling to their pranks. So when you snicker, it means that you are laughing at somebody. It's just like if you say chuckle, giggle, sneaker. These are categories of laughter. In Arobun, look for your dictionary and find laugh or laughter. You will see a portion of the dictionary where you have different categories of ochi. Are you following now? Different categories of ochi. You see, explain there. You see all these things I'm talking about. Subjunctive verb. Talk to us. You have stolen it somewhere. No, I saw when you stole. Yes? What did I stole? Chukwajo. Child. English. Hey. Shh. No noise. Shh. We've heard you. You see? Shh. You said it is used to express what? A wish or command. Let me tell you something. Are we listening? It is good you keep quiet and listen when you are in class, because it takes a great deal of confidence for your teacher to come and teach you. Listen, there are a lot of activities going on as a teacher is teaching. The teacher is watching the correctness of what he's teaching, watching the language and the rest of them, so that go on organize church. If I call you up to face the crowd, you might collapse and you bite your tongue. And then you mangle the language. Are you with me now? You mangle it. So it's good you listen, because there is a whole lot of exuberance of courage. So when we say subjunctive verb is a verb that expresses imagination. Listen, a subjunctive verb expresses what? That is, he expresses a supposed condition. That is something that is not real. Look at it. We always use look up. When a verb is subjunctive, if a verb is in the subjunctive, we use this phrase to express it. It's time. Are we there? We also use it's high time. Are we there? We also use it's about time. We equally use okay? So look at these expressions now. In your examination, anytime you see any of these phrases, just expect that the verb is already in the subjunctive. And when we say subjunctive, it's an expression of an unreal situation. That is something that is imagined. It's not real, but we are supposing. So when you suppose something now, that is, you assume. It does not mean that that thing has happened, but you are making an assumption. Do you understand it now? You are making an assumption. I didn't say assumption. Are we there? It is pronounced what? So the double S is still pronounced S and not Z. Okay? So, and now, another thing I'd like you to take note of in the subjunctive verb is, for you to know that it's subjunctive, once you have it is time, there must be a second subject. You get it now? It is high time, you. There must be a second subject. It is about time, you. Now, in this expression, there is always two subjects. If the second subject is not there, then it ceases to be a subjunctive. You get what I said now? Now look at this. It is time you dash home. We have go, we have went, we have gone, and then we have is going. What do you pick? Supposing you have this. Will you say it is time you go home, you went home, you gone home, He's going home. What do we pick now? Huh? So look at it. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is also wrong. What we pick is this. Now listen. Shh. Isn't matter. It is time you went home. Please, has that person gone home? You are just assuming. That's what we say. The subjunctive expresses an imagination. Are you following now? That is, you are supposing that the person should go, but the person has not what? The person hasn't gone. That's what it means. So we are saying in the subjunctive now, if you want to express a subjunctive in the present, we use the past. A subjunctive in the future, we use the past. But a subjunctive in the past, we use the past perfect. Here have a topic can go where. So if I want to teach you subjunctive, I'll pick it up as a topic of its own, and then we dissect. Do you understand it now? So but just get it peripherally, the way I've given it to you now. Just get it like this. Okay? But if I remove this now, it is time to dash home. What will be the answer now? It becomes go, because the you has gone. That's why I told you that if you was to express subjunctive, there must be a second subject. You get it now? I can tell you it is time Chidima. It is time Chidima dash home. What will be the answer now? It is time Chidima went home, because this is the second subject. Are you with me now? Good. But we have exceptions now. That exception is you had better dash examination. Do we say written examination, write, wrote, be writing? What do we pick now? Well, listen to my sentence. Listen to my sentence. You had better dash home now. Should I say you had better go home now? You had better went home now? You had better gone home now? You had better begin going home now? So what do you pick? Begin going home. You know, there is this common English I always hear from you. As soon as this class is over now, listen, look at what many of you will say. Let's be going. Are you with me? Let's be going home now, Shay. It is true. Please come, let's be going home now, okay? I will hear you speak such expression. So, what is the answer to the question now? Do I say, what was the sentence I made? So what do we pick now? Do we pick this? Do we pick written? Do we pick this? Do we pick this? Now listen. Shh. No noise. Shh. Shh. Can lately be substituted with recently? Can we say lately, recently? The boy went home lately. Can it also be the same as the boy went home recently? Are they the same? If you do something lately, it means not quite far from the moment you're talking. So we can also give it a synonym, recently. Are you following now? And somebody says, listen to this sentence. Write down, please. Write down this sentence. Somebody gave me this question. Someone says, I suppose you would have gone home. I suppose you would have gone home. Now take another sentence. You supposed to go home now. I now. You supposed to go home now. Okay? Okay, so what is the correct thing now? I suppose you would have gone home now. So what is that correct? Is that sentence correct? No noise. Silence, please. Now look at the sentence. Yes. Are we correct to say, I suppose you would have gone home now? Yes? Huh? Are we correct? No noise. This sentence is faulty. Do you know why it is faulty? Remember I told you we also use suppose. We use suppose to express subjunctive, right? Now, the subjunctive can be expressed in three different forms. Three different forms. The first is using the subjunctive to refer to the present. If you're using the subjunctive to refer to the present, you use past form of the verb, simple past form of the verb. If you use subjunctive to refer to the future, you use simple past form of the verb. But when it refers to the past, you use the past perfect. Look at my example now. I suppose, this is a simple present tense, right? I suppose you, are you with me now? Here we have would have gone. You have the perfective form of the verb. This is wrong. This is where the problem lies. Do you get me? What we should have here is, I suppose, what did I write now? I suppose you went home now. Are you with me now? Shh, listen to me. I suppose, that is, I assume, I think, I hope, but it has not happened. That's an imagination. I suppose you went home now. But please, has the listener gone home? Has the listener gone home? The listener hasn't gone. The listener hasn't gone. So we are making a supposition. Okay? So I don't know. I just don't want to go into subjunctive now because it's a topic of its own. It is something I'll just pick up and then bring up as many examples as possible. And then we discuss. So just get it like this. But the other sentence, you're supposed to go home now. Is that sentence correct? I hope you're still with me, please. If someone tells you you're supposed to keep quiet in class, is it correct? It is wrong. This is how to make use of that sentence. You are supposed. Do you understand me now? You are supposed. Or bro, you suppose. You suppose is colloquial. And it is incorrect. It is wrong. So what it should be, you are supposed. That's how you usually use it. So anytime you're using suppose, there should be what? A be verb. A be verb. The be verb I told you, the be verb I told you is, are, and the rest, they're 8 in number. Okay? So you are supposed to do this, but you're not doing it. Not just you supposed. Do you understand what I said now? Good. But if you now use it as a subjunctive, it becomes a different thing. Someone says, I suppose you. You see, there will be no D and there is no be verb. So there are two different things. When it is used as a subjunctive. So there are two different things. Shh, no noise. Shh. I'm going to take this question. Somebody gave me this. Listen, you may not write. Just listen and react. He said, Uncle, please, give her pen. Give her her pen. And she's chewing gum, correct? You get the question now? Look at the sentence. Give her her pen. Is it correct? Shh. Let me quickly react. Yes. Are you with me now? Listen. Give her her pen is the same as saying, give Ogechi her pen. Do you understand me now? So the first her is a pronoun, an objective pronoun. The second her is a possessive adjective. You understand me now? So it's correct. Feel free to say, give her her pen. Remember, H-E-R is pronounced what? It's pronounced what? Her. It is pronounced her. Are you there? Now the next sentence. The next sentence is, she is chewing chewing gum. Is it correct? No, the answer is yes, it is correct. Listen to me, let me explain. Listen, let me explain. Just pay attention. Shh, no noise. When you make noise, you will not understand me. Now listen, let me explain. Keep quiet, let me explain. She is chewing chewing gum is as correct as saying she is chewing gum. The two of them are correct. Why? The object, that candy you chew, is called chewing gum, right? Now, that is what that candy is actually called, chewing gum. That's what it is called, chewing gum. But silence. No noise. Listen, let me tell you something. Shh. Over there in the university where you are aspiring to find yourself, of course, we hope, we believe you will be there. When you don't have decorum, I am sorry, 5 or 6 or 4 year course might take you 12 years. It is true. If you don't have what we call decorum, you don't have what we call courtesy, what we call, you know, control. I'm sorry, you will go double or triple what you should just do at once. You see, as we are having this class now, in your GST courses, you have larger crowd. In your university, when you do of course, all of you will do GST courses. However, you will have a bigger class, bigger than this. Are you there? Also, give a class. Nobody will listen to you. The lecturer will just be there. He will not be shouting at all. You just get a lectern, bring a lectern and drop it. I don't know why I don't have a lectern. Where is it? That English is 40. What you tell me is look at it. Say it. Say it. You don't tell me see it. I can see. Okay? Yes, I can see. So listen. Shh. Listen. Otago geshinol. Odo we a textbook here. Whether you're listening or that's not his business. Are you with me? At the end of it, the reckoning day will come. Big exam. Are you there? Those who listen will write and pass with flying color. But you who were in the class messing around, you will pay either in cash or in what? In cash or in what? That is if you don't want to pay, what happens? You will revisit that very course. It's a simple thing. So when I just watch you, I say, shh, you go to the larger world. It's a very simple thing. So what we are doing here, we are teaching you. But when you go there now, they will do what? They will lecture you. So only the team yourself, only the but just bubula kwado ona agwe. Ona agori away. And some of you will like it. You say, no problem, go textbook, yeah. Go textbook, ne pass, go. It's not true. So I just feel when you have determined, if you have resolved that you are coming for a class, please come for that class. Listen. English says, in every nonsense, there's what? When I'm talking nonsense or not, of course, there's no way I will be here to teach you and I don't have anything to give you. It's not true. Even before many of you came here, I've been teaching here. After that teaching, we used to have bigger. By next year now, we have a bigger class. A bigger class. They listen. So, among them and then your teacher is teaching, you are there. You are there doing a different thing. you are cheating yourself because you have paid to be here. You have also sacrificed what you be doing in the house to be here. Emechezie, you go home worse than you did what? Than you came. Go cheat zero. Okay, more say. So bad now. I'm more cheat so bad. If I cheated myself, okay? So, as I was saying, if someone says Chidema is chewing gum, you are as correct as the other person who says Chidema is chewing gum. If you judge it semantically, that is by meaning, the second sentence should be wrong. You are chewing gum. Because if you go to the dictionary, the first shade of meaning you get for gum is a sticky substance that is used to bind two things together, right? That's the first meaning. The second meaning is a candy that you chew for some time without swallowing before throwing it away. You get it now? So, if in that candy is actually called chewing gum. It's in a dictionary. You see something like this: chewing and gum. It is an open compound word. It's an open compound word. You see it now. So in Narabunta, this word, this is what you see: chewing gum. Okay, gum. So look at it now. Mother Sege, she is chewing gum. So the first gum is a verb. Are you there? That expresses the action. The second chewing gum is the name of the object. So it's correct. Do you understand it now? It's correct. And this other one says, so many questions. There are some questions I will not react to. Don't give me this question again, but let me just react to this one. Gekwanti. Onya asem na ihe okwulosem. Uncle, give me her pen is correct. But what of give him pen? Listen. Did you see the reason we have used her twice and it is correct? Do you see it now? So the reason we can use her in one sentence that is in the same position in one sentence that is correct is that her can function as an objective pronoun. It can also function as what? Possessive adjective. Look at her book. Look at her. What tells you that the book belongs to her? It is her, right? Look at her book. Without the her, would you know that the book belongs to whoever you are referring to? So the thing is that English has this word as a dual word, a word that expresses two functions. But when it comes to him is just one function. Objective what? Objective pronoun. Now, possessive, what we have as the possessive is his. This one is possessive adjective. Did you get it now? That is just the reason. So, it takes another form. It has a different form. Let me see how far I can go. Okay, let me just rush. There are so many questions here. This one says, I've explained it, the same question. She said, Uncle, why is give her her book correct and give him book wrong? I've explained it. And this one says, but uncle, why is give her her pen right, but give him his? Can I make a sentence with the rest of the subjective verb? Do we have a subjective verb? Is there any verb called subjective verb? What we have is subjective pronoun. Do you understand me now? There is no verb called subjective verb. Behind we have a subjective pronoun. What do I mean by subjective pronoun? Look at the board. We have he. We have I. We have you. We have they. Have you seen it now? We equally have we. All these are called what class? They are called subjective pronoun. Why are they subjective pronoun? Because anytime you make use of them in a sentence, they always perform action. They don't receive action. Listen to my sentence. Imam Mitchell get again. Listen to my sentence. The teacher flogged he mercilessly. Is that correct? The teacher flogged he mercilessly. I hope that sentence is correct. What should I say? Him, right? Now, the sentence is wrong because this pronoun should be in the subject case. It should be in the subject position. So I cannot say the teacher flogged he. It should be what? Flogged him. Him should be receiving. While he should be what? Performing. You get the reason? Do you get it now? So that is these are examples of subjective pronoun. Why the opposites, which are the objects, are objective pronoun. Please let me rush. This other one says, no noise. Shh. Listen and help out, please. Listen, listen. It says you rather go home now. Is it correct? Is it correct to say you rather go home now? Huh? I'm asking you, do you say you rather go home now? Huh? We have you had better go home now. It's different from you rather go home now. Listen, when you use rather, it's a contextual usage. That is a connection to a situation that is already established. Listen, someone says, please, how do I put it now? Maybe someone tells you, you shouldn't be here now. You shouldn't be here now. What's the next thing I should say? You rather go home. I don't know where I get it now. So, rather is used when there is a condition that is already established. That's why I said it's a contextual usage. Okay? It's circumstantial. That is, there is a situation on ground that has already, you've already expressed a ground. And so, you are connecting it to it. Otherwise, if you are actually making an opinion, you had better is what we use. When you tell somebody you had better go home now, it is you are suggesting. You are just suggesting the person goes. You better go home, I draw correct. Are you with me? You better go home. You had better go home. The two sentences are correct, but the reason is that the reason the second is incorrect is that it is informal. Mother say you better go home, and you had better go home. You had better go home is more acceptable and then formal than you better go home. You get it now? But they express the same meaning. Are you following now? Yes, they express the same meaning. And then this other one says, I cannot respond or react to all the questions because it's almost time. Can we say, I suppose you should go home? Shh. No noise. I suppose you should go home. Can we say that? Can we say that? I have to react to all the questions before you go. It's okay. Should I say, I suppose you should go home now? Don't go home, please. Don't go home. You didn't hear me?